Good evening. I am Allison Lebovitz, and I am here live once again on our Monday night update with Hamilton County Schools. Our entire leadership team is here. We have the phone lines are active. We have our leadership team. As you can see, they are socially distanced tonight. We have become even more socially distanced than ever before. We want you to see that we take this seriously. If you're listening to us or if you're watching, write down this number. This is our hotline number right now, 423-498-5437. You can call and speak to any of our operators standing by, our leadership team in English or in Spanish. If you need English, press 1. If you need Spanish, press 2. And we are waiting to take any calls you might have. I also have with me Dr. Brian Johnson, who needs no introduction, our superintendent of Hamilton County Schools. Dr. Johnson, how are you?
How are you doing, Allison?
I like that we're the 6 feet away. Let's see, from week one, I remember this is your social distance greeting.
Right.
I like that.
That's right.
And we're still talking about grace, giving ourselves and others grace. And tonight, our theme is, I know you're dying to hear our theme. Our theme is get moving. Get moving. Right? So how are you getting moving on everything that needs to be happening right now for our 44,000 students?
Yeah, well, we've been constantly on the move as we've dealt with this pandemic over the last couple and a half weeks, and are very, very just encouraged and inspired by what we see. I got a chance Friday to ride a bus for some delivery, and was just amazed at the depth and knowledge, the understanding of the school bus driver and the individual needs of families and how she was making sure they were supported. And so we've definitely been moving across the system, seeing what's going on.
We've never seen anything like this. I think people at home know that, this isolation does not mean that we can't still be a community. Absolutely. And I think, a lot of times we talk about technology separating us, but this is a time where technology is really bringing us together, where our neighbors are now, they're as far as we can see, right? Because we're coming together as a community. Tell me about how the food delivery is working. How is that going?
So overall, food delivery is going really well. Obviously, our return date, even though it's been set, we'll continue to monitor going forward. But what we started doing this week before last was delivering food to all the elementary stops. We're monitoring that. We'll probably come back after spring break, and in the next couple of days we'll evaluate it and make some subtle adjustments. We want to maximize efficiency from that standpoint, and we'll look at how to better serve the community through our buses and our routes. But overall, it's going really well. Students being served. We're able to get weekend food to them on Friday to help hold them through Monday or till Monday, and so we're really excited about that.
Now, I don't want to assume anybody knows the latest details, right? We're here live. If you don't believe us, right? It is 8:03 on March 30th. Yeah, so time stamped it, and what is the latest on school closures? When is the earliest that teachers and parents and students can expect to be back in the classrooms if that happens?
Yeah, so April 30th is our date as it stands. We'll continue to monitor as we go forward. I think one of the things that we know is that this is an ongoing pandemic. It's an ongoing thing. We heard our president last evening sharing information in regards to just kind of the landscape and the seriousness of what we're dealing with, and so we know it's a real challenge.
So even though everybody's been home and it's been a little unusual, it is not spring break, right? We're saying this has not been a snow day.
It's not.
The rigorous, academic setting has been translated into that virtual learning environment, but there is something to look forward to because spring break is on the horizon. How does that look? How are we going to get moving to make sure that kids are staying focused this week and then taking advantage of all that spring break has to offer?
Yeah, so we hope that our students definitely, and our families, our parents, get an opportunity for spring break. It's so important, we think, to take that moment. But it's also important to remain active. And so one of the things we're doing on Thursday is a STEAM day. And we've posted on our website some information around labs and outside activities and arts activities to get students going. We've got so many great community partners that have plugged in. And so, such as Chattanooga 2.0, who's now started a Stay Smart Chattanooga opportunity, and obviously encouraging our families to do so. And our librarians have started a hashtag HCS Reads 2020, and we're challenging all students to read and post a picture of what they're currently reading in the days ahead.
So for the people at home who are saying, look, you know, the first week was okay, we were getting a routine. The second week, we've kind of got the flow of this, but I still don't feel like my kid is getting everything that they need. What advice do you give to those parents who are at home with their kids right now and trying to balance so much? I know we talk about this every week, but I think there's merit in going over this again. You know, what's your advice? Because you're not only a superintendent, you're a parent of a Hamilton County school kid, and you're balancing those same things with your wife right now. What are some best practices that you're using at home that you've learned?
So as much as you can, one of the key things we talk about is staying on schedule. So as much as you can with the time to go to bed and to wind down, the time to wake up, as much as you can. We encourage families to keep their children on schedule. We've also produced some materials. You can always check our website that gives some suggested schedules. Our schools, as they've become more comfortable with what's transpired, they have begun to do suggested schedules for subjects and content areas, and so we have those as resources that parents can use. And then again, going back to last week's word, grace. You know, we're living and learning and trying to get through this moment in time. I saw a funny video of a local Chattanoogan that taped herself on YouTube about becoming a homeschool teacher, and so you know we're all dealing with it, and we'll get through this moment together.
Right, and we have to take time to relax. Right, the kids, if they want to go out and play hoops in the driveway, right? If they want to skateboard around, get their bike out, stay active. That's, you know, we're gonna get moving so that we can get our brains moving, and it doesn't help to sit on our couch and do nothing, right?
Not at all.
And let's talk about some of the hotline numbers, because I know there's a lot of resources and access points for people. If you don't know, we know, and I think some of those are on the screen right now.
Yeah, and so obviously our HCS Continued Help Hotline has been available, is available. We just opened up in the last day or so a tech hotline as well. And so if you need technical support or to support specifically with technology, we've got that hotline available as well. We know this is a new challenge in regards to devices and online access. We also have the fortune of having great partners. And so EPB has set up multiple wireless access points. And I think
you have a prop.
I believe
we love
there's
props,
a
right?
prop here.
There we go.
But if you see these around town, definitely quick connect spots. We're so privileged to have great partners that are committed to really supporting our community during this moment in time. And so I think once we get through this, we'll be able to go back and look and see how much growth and development we've had as a community and that we're better together.
What has surprised you, besides the fact that we're in a crisis and everything is kind of a new adventure, but what has surprised you in a positive way about the community, our teachers, our parents? What has been a highlight for you this past week?
I just think the grit and the resiliency. I mean, you know, I see it throughout our community, everybody being willing to pitch in to support what's going on, whether it's feeding students, whether it's helping out with technology, whether it's been trying to fill the gap for parents that have lost jobs and things. We've got so many community partners that have stepped up and have really said, hey, what do you need? How can we support you? Churches that have said, what do you need and how can we support you? So we're very fortunate to be in a community that is in the game.
Yeah, I see that list of community partners that we just showed, and it's just, you know, in sort of a heartwarming way, right? And during a heartbreaking time in our lives, it's just so nice that I don't think anybody has said no, right? Nobody said that's not my job.
That is correct.
When you talk about EPB and Comcast stepping up to the plate, providing more than 20 new hotspots around the city so that every student has access, that's got to mean something. Do you think that is going to translate to the months and years ahead as we move forward into what, out of this new normal into the new normal after the pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that it will. You know, every tough time creates an opportunity for you to learn, and I really believe that we have learned and grown so much. I personally have developed skills, whether it be you know, technical skills, in different ways in which we have to communicate and engage, and those skills will benefit me personally. And so I know our teachers, our students are engaging in the same ways, and so it will definitely help and move us forward. And then the way the communities come together in tough times, no doubt the city of Chattanooga, Hamilton County has done it before and absolutely will do it again.
Well, good. Well, Dr. Johnson, I hope you'll come back at the end of the hour.
I will. I need to make one correction.
Yes.
I said April 30th, but I was thinking about another date. We're hoping to be back in school April the 27th.
Okay, you hear that? April 27th. So if you remark your calendar, mark it back, right? April 27th, we hope to be back. I know one of the first calls we got was, what does my shirt say? Girls can do anything. So a little motivation for the day. That's because, just to give you some foreshadowing, I may or may not be working out with one of our new hot YouTube breakout stars.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned for that. But right now, I want to go to our own Jill Levine, who is over at the phone bank and has some great shout outs and questions that all of you have been asking. Jill.
Thanks, Allison. Thanks, Dr. Johnson. Well, Dr. Johnson, I have some good news for you. The first call tonight was a shout out about our superintendent. Steve from Ottawa would like to share that Dr. J is doing a great job. He even added an exclamation point to his shout out. So great job, Dr. Johnson. We have an amazing show tonight, so make sure you stay tuned. I won't steal Allison's thunder, but a great segment coming up next. I have some shout outs tonight, and I just want to remind you, you can call our hotline 498-5437 with questions or shout outs tonight. So if there's someone in the school district you would like to recognize, call these numbers, talk to Dr. Drake, Dr. Robertson, Dr. Johnson, and share your shout outs. They will hand me those and I'll read them in the next segment. I'd like to give a shout out to the whole crew at Hardy Elementary School, the cafeteria workers, the bus drivers, Dr. Corbin and the school security officers, and an army of volunteers who have been sending out thousands and thousands of meals and delivering them throughout our community over the last couple of weeks. Great work to all of you. A Lakeside parent sent in this shout out. She says, please give a shout out to Miss Tarver, Miss Robinson, and Miss Smith at Lakeside Academy from the Powell family. Thank you for all your support and encouragement that you have provided. Miss Samuels, the college and career advisor at East Ridge High School, says, we offer a shout out today to 2 East Ridge seniors who have received offers of admission and scholarships. Lloyd Pinheiro received one from Baylor University, and Chance Baggett from Syracuse University. Way to go, East Ridge High School seniors. Coach Johnson from Woodmore Elementary School sent in a shout out to students who have done an exemplary job of completing their work and posting videos online of all of their PE activities. Way to go, Neontre Jones, Jakuvan Duckworth, and Caden Farnham. Wonderful job, Woodmore Eagles. From East Brainerd Elementary, I have a shout out recognizing Miss Thompson and Miss Dyer, the 4th grade teachers. They call them the dynamic duo over at East Ridge Elementary, and they say we could not love or appreciate them anymore. Also from East Brainerd Elementary, we have a shout out to say that the lunch staff has been amazing, preparing meals for not only our children, but also those in our community. We have a shout out from Rivermont Elementary students. Mac and Millie Jackson want to tell the Rivermont teachers and staff that we miss you and hope this time isn't too hard for you. We miss seeing your faces, Miss Smith and Miss Piercy. And from Nolan Elementary, we have a shout out about the 2nd grade teachers. The 2nd grade teachers at Nolan Elementary have been on top of their game from day one of this closure. Thank you to Miss Robin Kelly, Miss Kim Lockery, Miss Grace Cleary, Miss Meg Self, and Miss Kristen Sharp. Way to go, Nolan teachers. Okay, and we have a shout out from Miss Berman, Miss Bios, and Miss Engel from Soddy Daisy Middle School. Soddy Daisy Middle School Blue Team, thank you for working so hard. Keep it up. Your teachers miss you more than you know. Stay well and stay focused. We also have a shout out from Megan Witt, North Hamilton County Elementary 3rd grade student. She says, I want to say hi to Miss Barnes and my 3rd grade class. I love them and miss them. Another shout out to Kylene Booker and Sam Simons from your family in Indiana. Thank you for the work you do. We love you and stay safe. A huge shout out to the Soddy Elementary staff, especially the 1st grade teachers. They have been 100% involved at the drop of a hat. They have created great videos and thorough instructions for teachers and students. Thank you so much from the Ellis family. And we have a shout out from Brianna Howard, a 3rd grade teacher at Woodmore. She says these students have turned in every assignment and participated in every Zoom class. She says, I'm so proud of their hard work to push through at this uncertain time. So a special shout out to Neontre Jones and India Pitts, 3rd grade students at Woodmore Elementary School. We also want to give a shout out to the Westview teachers, the Hardy Elementary teachers, and the Clifton Hills Elementary teachers. They have organized teacher parades in their students' neighborhoods, and it has made students so happy to see their teachers driving through the neighborhoods. Those are just a few of the many shout outs that have already come in. Call us at 423-498-5437. And now it's time for you to get up off your couch, because I'm happy to send it back over to Allison, who has a very special guest, the now famous Coach Wood.
All right, as my producer just said, move the furniture. We are getting ready to get moving for real. This is not talk, because if you don't know the guy next to me, then you clearly haven't been on social media in like the past 14 days. This is Coach Wood, and we're going to get moving and show all of you people at home. It doesn't matter whether you have a kid or not. If you've got a pet, we don't even know if you're actually in Hamilton County. You are going to love Coach Wood, because he is a PE teacher at Hickson Elementary School. He has been posting unbelievably energetic and innovative YouTube videos so that not only his students, but as he will say, people around the world can get moving and make sure that they've got some energy during this pandemic. How are you, Coach Wood?
Allison, I'm doing great. Real quick before, I just want to make sure my wife's watching, just so she knows we're at a safe distance.
And we want a big shout out. Speaking of shout outs, Marissa, we hope you're feeling good, staying healthy. She's due in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah 2 weeks from yesterday. So big day coming up.
All right. So look, how did this get started? You've been a PE teacher at Hickson for how long?
7 years. I've been a PE teacher for 7 years. And so my wife, the weekend before the 16th, Monday the 16th, she came up to me and she said, Aaron, actually real quick for the kids home, call me Coach. She said, Aaron, this is what we need to do. You need to make a video. It's going to be great. It's going to be hilarious. People are going to love it. And I was like, I don't know. Are you sure? And she's like, yeah, just do it. It's going to be awesome. So we went into our garage and we just kind of did one take, kind of like this, and just started recording, just did some dancing. And my kids know, quick shout out to my kids at Hickson Elementary. I love you guys. Hope you guys are doing great. I miss you. But they know I love to dance. And so I was like, all right, let's do some dancing. All right, you can just record it, whatever. So it was, behind every average man, there's an amazing woman. And that is my wife. Love you, Marissa. And so she was like, it was totally her idea. And so we just went, from there with it.
So when did you realize that these videos had really gone viral?
Well, so first of all, we made the videos just for Hickson, Allison. And I was just like, our kids are going to see it, they're going to laugh, they're going to enjoy it. And so I think that night, actually I was in a text with a bunch of coworkers that I love very dearly, very, very dearly. And they were like, Coach, I don't know if you're looking at these views, but it's kind of getting crazy. And that night I was laying in bed and I had a conversation within probably 5 minutes with someone who messaged me from the UK, someone who messaged me from India, someone who messaged me from South America. And I was just I looked over at Marissa, I was like, this is kind of crazy. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And so that's, Allison, that is kind of when I realized, whew, I better buckle up real quick. This is getting wild.
What's the favorite part about making these videos?
I think, first of all, I love seeing all the videos that kids have sent me. A lot of my kids, other kids in the county, and then just people, I'll randomly get shout outs from, different states or countries just saying, hey, Coach Wood, we're watching. Look at my kids working out or doing this. So all the shout outs are super awesome, which if you do want to do a shout out, just find me on Instagram, Twitter, at @I_teach_gym, and just tag me in that. And I will repost it. It has been awesome to see. But I think what I've enjoyed probably the most is just spending that time with my wife, because she is my creative director. She's my director. She's my critic. She is the one who is really bringing this to life and making this work. So it's been so much fun just during this time being at home working with her. So.
Well, and I give you a lot of credit because you're not even a father yet, but you already know you need to chalk up all of those brownie points as often, as frequently as possible
that's
with your
right,
wife.
that's right.
Because once that baby boy comes, I'm going to tell you, she's going to need to hear that like 10 times as
for
much.
sure,
So,
for sure.
Marissa, just, hope you're recording this. Just keep press and play, rewind,
Yes.
He's doing a good job.
It's
so.
going to be on our TV consistently, just playing,
all
repeat,
the
repeat.
evidence of the love, right?
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
So let's talk about, look, the theme of the night is get moving.
Right.
And I don't want to take it for granted that people out there know what to do, because some of us, have our gyms that we rely on, and now we no longer have that structure. Some have PE class, right? That they
Right,
know that there's
right,
someone
yeah.
in front of them telling them what to do. Some of us are just like, you know what? This is a whole new world. This is my new normal. My new normal is I'm going to sit on my couch and watch Netflix or play video games
Yeah.
all day. Not that that's me or my kids. But our point is you've got to get up, right? You've got to get off that
absolutely.
couch, and it's not so hard. You don't have to have weights. You don't have to have a home gym. There are really simple things you can do at home to get moving. What are some of those things?
Well, first of all, Allison, you just got to be creative. There's a lot of things you can find at home that can get you up, get you moving. If you have some gallons of milk or some cans of beans or anything like that, you can use that as weights or anything like that. As well, if you go onto YouTube, obviously there's my videos, but you just type in exercise, kids exercise, workouts, and there's going to be so much stuff in there that you can find, you can do in your living room that is just going to be incredibly easy to do. And so just because you can't go to your gym, in Chattanooga, it's been raining a ton. It's like the rainforest out there sometimes. It's like the jungle, the Amazon. But if it's bad outside, you can still do stuff in your living room. You just have to be proactive about it. You got to turn off that Netflix, and you got to say to yourself, you know what? I can do something for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes is all it takes to kind of get up, get moving, get that heart rate up, get a little sweat going. That's all you got to do.
All right, well, speaking of, get off your couch, get out of that chair right now. Coach Wood is going to show us a little bit, watch your mic, but he's going to show us a little bit of things we can do at home. I want you to know you have some special fans out there. Amber and Rachel told me specifically that they're ready for this workout. They are diehard Orange Theory people who are now cut off from the gym, and they're ready for their Coach Wood personal video, okay?
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, let's go. Well, Allison, you have below you your toilet paper, which real
Look
quick,
at this, yeah.
I'm gonna need that back after. All right. So, anyways, it's like your wads of cash in your hand right now. So
Okay.
don't drop it. The rules are what we're gonna do is, since we're kind of confined behind this table, we're gonna do some arm workouts with these rolls of toilet paper. So you got just a couple seconds. If you can go run and grab some toilet paper, you can go do that. But if you want to use your imagination, my kids know we use our imagination all the time. Use your imagination. So the first thing we're gonna do,
All right.
let's get loose.
Yeah,
Allison,
yeah.
there you go. Get loose.
Okay, get
And,
loose,
and
get
you
loose.
can't see right now either. Allison is wearing some awesome
Oh, so
shoes
you want to see
right
my
now.
kicks? I don't know if I can get my foot all the way up there.
I think
Hold
you
on.
can.
Uh-oh.
I think one more time.
Hold on.
Here we go.
My wires.
I'm putting her on the spot.
There we go. We
Boom.
see the kicks.
Bedazzled.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Bedazzled. Oh, they
Bedazzled,
can't really
everybody.
see it. But now you
So,
have proved that.
so
Yeah,
Allison's ready to work out. She is ready to work out, all right? So first thing we got,
That
let's
was
get
my
the
morning
wiggles out.
stretch. Okay,
Get
yeah.
the wiggles out. All right, this right here, Coach White, I miss you, man. I got this from him. All right, first, let's do some arm circles.
Okay.
Nice and easy, Allison, nothing crazy.
Alan, stop laughing at me. That's
All
my
right,
husband.
no one-
Yes.
All right, nice and easy. All right, you're gonna feel it burn a little bit in the shoulders. That's all right, welcome in the burn, all
Yeah,
right?
I'm thinking this is 2-ply
Nice and
toilet
easy,
paper. I'm
all
feeling the
right?
burn in my fingertips. This is, yeah.
From the shoulders to the fingertips, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go backwards a little bit. All right? If you got to drop and shake out for a minute, hey, no one's going to judge you. You're all right. If you're in the living room by yourself, no one's watching. We can't see in here, all right? You're good, all right? Nice and back, all right? Shake it out.
Shake
Let's
it
go
out.
forward. Big ones.
Oh.
Big ones, all right? There you go, Allison. Don't be shy. Get it big, all right?
There's a
Feel
lot
it
of
in the
pressure.
shoulders. You got it, all right? Stop. Bring it back, all right? Oh, it's like you're in the pool and you're just doing some backstrokes, all right?
Yeah.
And
We
you're
call
just
this one the
relaxed.
toilet paper roll.
Roll.
Just roll with it. Yeah, we got it.
Perfect. Woo! Are you feeling it, Allison? I'm definitely feeling it.
I'm definitely feeling it.
And
yeah.
you can tell I'm wearing the suit coat. I did that because I want to look, kind of professional. I'm kind of regretting it at this moment, but it's all right. All right, let's shake it out. Let's shake it out next. You can't see our legs, but we're going to squat just a tad. I'm not going
Okay.
crazy low. I'm going to put it right here. We're going to do a little shoulder press. So
As far as
squat,
you know, I am
boom.
doing such a low squat right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
She's pretty much touching the ground right now.
I'm pretty
All
much,
right?
yeah.
Look, nice and easy. All right. We don't have to go at the same time. It's all right. Go at your own pace. You're killing it. You're killing it. You're probably thinking to yourself, I got toilet paper in my hand, and there's a guy doing a workout with toilet paper right now on TV. This is wild. All right, so what's going to happen? We're going to get a little crazier. All right,
There's
so we're going to start going to the side.
This, Coach Wood, I can't believe it. Okay,
Hey, that's
hold
right.
on.
Hey, you know what? You're doing great. Breathing, that's important. If you want to talk, go ahead and talk. As you can tell, I can't stop talking. All right? We just keep going. Nice and easy. And remember, if you got to shake it out real quick because you're getting a little tired, that's all right. You can do that, all right? Keep it going.
All right.
Nice and easy.
We
Allison, you doing okay?
I'm doing great. I will never live this down.
No, hey,
but,
this is
yeah.
great. This
Luckily,
is gold.
we're going to auction off this footage and the toilet paper to raise money for PBS next week.
That's
so
right.
stay tuned for that. Coach Wood, we have about 30 seconds to wrap up. Can you tell the people at home, if they're not watching WTCI right now, where can they find your workout videos?
Oh, that is a great question. And I'm going to keep working out as I do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to youtube.com/C/Coach Wood, you will find my YouTube page. And all I want you to do, subscribe, share, follow, all that fun stuff. There's going to be a little bell, ding, 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 ding. Click it so you will get all my live updates.
Whew. Well, we definitely got moving. Coach Wood, thank you. One last thing. Baby boy Wood, you want to share his name?
Oh, Allison, God, you put me on the spot. I don't know if I want to tell the whole Chattanooga metropolitan area the baby's name. I mean, millions are watching right now. I can't give that up.
Well, stay tuned. Check his social media. When the baby's here, he will reveal the big name. Coach Wood, thank you for keeping us moving and keeping us laughing. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Allison. It was
And
fun.
now we are going to literally toss it to Aaliyah Twite, who is our Education Outreach Coordinator and is going to show all of you how PBS continues to align with not only Hamilton County curriculum, but every student out there and every parent who's looking for additional ways to support that kid at home. Aaliyah.
Thanks y'all so much. I think toilet paper workouts are the new gold standard for physical activity, and I am very excited and very motivated. Thank you guys. So we have a lot going on in education this week. We are officially kicking off our second week of our at-home learning programming on 45.3, our PBS Kids channel. And same as last week, what you're going to be seeing is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're going to have content that's aligned for different grade groups of learning. So our pre-K is going to be happening pre-K through third from that 6 a.m. slot to that 10 a.m. slot. That 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is going to be for middle school, and that 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. is going to be for our high school. And again, you're going to see a lot of your favorite programs like Arthur, we're going to see some Nova, we're going to see some breakthrough, a lot of learning around nature and ancient civilizations, so we're very, very excited. Also, on April 6th, we're going to be receiving content from the Tennessee Department of Education, who are going to be recording teachers having classroom sessions where you can access that also through our broadcast. So we'll keep you posted on that. It's going to be really exciting. Additionally, you can go to our website. We still have all of our one-pagers and all of our activities up on the website. And as we've mentioned before, the digital divide is a huge equity issue, not only in Hamilton County, but all across Appalachia and the regions that we serve. So we've been working really, really hard with our Director of Early Learning, Becky Covington, and our Director of Elementary Teaching and Learning, Dr. Yvette Stewart, and we have been aligning teaching standards to all of the printable pages and activities that we can provide for students and families in a non-digital way. So we will be working on that and making that available to teachers. Teachers, I know you guys are getting a lot of information right now, so we're trying to align this as best we can to those learning standards. So all you have to do is just click the standard and you should have a list of activities that you can print out and use for your students at this time. So you can use those, and again, we will be updating the website for more resources as they come out in English and Spanish. So we're very, very excited about that. The last thing I want to say is we've been getting a lot of awesome emails from community partners, and keep that coming. Please email us. We are in uncharted territory right now, and it is really, really amazing to see all of the community members and response coming to us around their ideas for how to make this education time together a little more fun, a little more entertaining. So your voice matters. If you're a student, if you're a parent, a family member, a teacher, a principal, someone who works as a superintendent, or just a community partner, please let us know your your ideas. We really want to make sure that we're aligning this to what you want to see in your education, because we can create this together. So we're really, really excited to be working on all of that with you. So please email us. Again, go to our website at WTCI-TV.org. You can go to our Kids and Education tab where you can find all of our educational resources, and make sure to tune in for our program. And that will be great. So thank you so much. I'm going to toss it back to Allison, and she has with her Ruthie Pammy, the amazing principal at DuPont Elementary.
Thank you so much, Aaliyah, and Principal Panny. She told me not to call her that, but I love alliteration. I want to sit here and just like figure out all the P words, like perfectly proper and poignant Principal Panny from DuPont. So
Yes.
there we go.
There you go.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
thank you. But for now, I'll call you Ruthie. Thank you
That
for
sounds
joining us
great.
tonight. You know, I think it's great that not only do we have you in the studio talking about how we can continue to get moving with our learning and making sure we're supporting every parent out there who all of a sudden is now a teacher and a parent and probably doing 1,000 other jobs, but also to hear from the principal's perspective. I have a ton of friends who are principals in the district. I know you guys have not stopped working, right? Like, talk about get moving. Like, as
Yes.
soon as this pandemic hit, you were moving in directions that you never anticipated either. So give us a little update. How's that going?
You know, I've been so overwhelmed and amazed by the greatness of our teachers. We have great leadership at the district level, and they have poured into us, but really where those on the front line, our teachers, they have risen to the occasion. They have far surpassed just anything I could have imagined. I know for our school at DuPont, our teachers were making videos that night and figuring out Google Classroom for second graders and first graders, which is so foreign. So it has been an incredible journey to watch from my seat.
So as we motivate these parents and teachers and students, whoever's watching tonight, part of this Get Moving approach is we want to remind them they are not alone, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's easy to feel, especially when it's been so rainy too, it's easy to feel isolated and to think, I'm the only one whose kids are not obeying, or I'm the only one who doesn't know how to multiply fractions with an area model. And I just need you to know you're not alone. And I also want to encourage you too, though, you are a teacher. Every child's first teacher is their parents. And so even though this is a pause in the way we do school, you are completely equipped to do everything your kid needs you to do. So it just may look a little different than what we do in the classrooms. So you're not alone. We're all in this together. I have a 6th grader at home who's learning online. I have college kids at home who are also learning and figuring out things in a new and different way. We're all in it together, and we're going to make it.
So let's say you're a parent and your kid has brought you homework that's either math, science, social studies, name the subject, and you are just caught like a deer in a headlight as soon as you even look at the topic. What are resources that we're offering right now through hcde.org, through our local schools, principals,
Yes.
teachers? Where should a parent turn to first?
Well, I would think the first line of defense would be their teacher. So the teachers on their Google Classrooms or whatever format, some of our in the elementary are using Dojo and ClassTag. There's several different formats, but stay in touch with your teacher. That is the best first step for a parent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the schedule, right?
Yes.
Because I think, you know, we just had Coach Wood out here reminding us that not to get in too much of a routine, because that also can
Yes.
lead to a lethargic type of atmosphere. But the routine is also important in
Yes.
maintaining some
Absolutely.
sort of schedule, not having to perfect it, but what should that look like on a daily basis?
You know, for us, and just speaking of the Panny household, you know, it was really important for us in the beginning to set up a time to get up in the morning. So we get up, we get dressed, we have breakfast, and then we start schoolwork. And we don't do 7 hours of schoolwork, but at the same time, we'll do an hour and then take a break, and then an hour and then take a break until he's finished. But we also in that schedule include walks, like we walk our dog, or play games, or they play outside when it's sunny. So just having that schedule and getting moving early in the morning. It doesn't have to be 5:30 like our normal get ready going time, but by 8 or 9, let's get out of bed, let's get going.
Yeah, I used to say the worst question of my day was what's for dinner.
Yes.
Now the worst question of my day is what's for lunch. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm in charge of lunch too. What
I know.
And after 2 weeks, you would think they know there's only like 2 options. They're like, what are the options today? I'm like, well, folks, we have turkey sandwich or turkey wrap, turkey salad.
Yes.
Are you catching my drift?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So maybe have you seen anybody? Maybe I should do a lunch board. Maybe I should create sort of like the cafeteria schedule where every day it has like their options, mail that out or email in advance.
Yeah, so it's funny because we do breakfast and dinner. Like I'm in charge of those pretty much. But lunch, YOLO, yeah, you're on your own, you know, like that's whatever you can find in the house, that's yours, you know. So, but yeah, we do set those out early though.
I might have to follow that model of the
yeah,
lunch on your
'cause
own.
lunch, 3 meals, that's 3
It's a
clean
lot.
dishes too.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Well, and part of that is, I know, it's being able to just communicate directly with your child.
Yes.
What are some tips that you have for us as we're
Yeah.
struggling to navigate this new normal, but also just going back to basics of how to communicate?
Absolutely. You know, I texted my dad yesterday. He's 83 and probably the smartest person I've ever known. And I asked him, have you seen anything like this ever happen in your lifetime? And he said, never, never, not even when he was a child during World War II. And so when we think about that, this is a once in a lifetime time for us. And so let's use this time to talk with our kids and build relationships with our kids, whether that conversation is about math or what they're reading or the weather or what troubles them. What are they anxious about? Because with so much going on now, and if they get a minute of the news, there's so much difficult things, there's so many difficult things that are happening in our world, that just to build those times for conversation. On a normal day when school is in session, I don't get home till 6 or 6:30. So I just have a couple of hours every day to talk to our son who's still living at home. Now I have all day, and so I want to take advantage of that. And that's really, we know as educators that speaking and listening comes before reading and writing. So if we can teach our young children how to speak and how to listen and how to converse, that is going to help them in their reading and writing.
Well, when it comes to the reading and writing, how stressed should we be as parents about our kids being prepared for this fall, right? Like, we know that the pressure is off. We know we
Yeah.
want to maintain a routine and academic rigor as much as
Yes.
possible. But we also get the message that, but don't worry, right? It's all going to be
Right.
okay. Everybody's going to pass and go on to the next grade. But that also gives, I think, all of us a little bit of a stress, like, but
Yeah.
what if my kid's not ready
Yes.
for 4th grade or 10th grade or their senior year?
Right. So when I think about that, and we even had conversations in my school today via Zoom about what are we going to do with our kids, because some of them are going to come back behind, or we weren't able to complete and teach all the standards. We'll make those adjustments as a school. We know what we've taught. We know what we've assessed. Now we can move forward next year knowing that. And will some 2nd grade teachers be teaching 1st grade at the very beginning of the year, 1st grade standards? Possibly. But we're going to do what's best for our kids. And I think that has been the theme of this whole pandemic, is we're going to do everything we can for our kids. And that will not stop when this is over. It'll continue next year.
Yeah. And it's, you know, we don't want to look at someone and say, don't worry, right?
Right.
But the stress needs to be, you know, balanced out by the fact that everybody is in this new normal, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody is in the same boat.
Absolutely.
We talk a lot, my friends and I talk a lot about, usually when there's this sort of crisis, it's in one part of the world.
Right.
And everybody bands together to help that part of the world. This is the whole world banding together to help each other,
Exactly.
right? How do we take that, you know, remark, don't stress, and apply it though?
I think there's things to bring your energy to, and there are things to not. So when we think about what's important for our children, and especially our elementary kids, if we are reading, if we're allowing them to write about their experiences, I read somewhere that the journals of our kids right now can be primary resources in 10 years of what life was like through the pandemic. And so having them read, having them write. But I was even thinking about WTCI and the great job y'all are doing here. we have shows so readily available that are educationally focused, but to take it one step further, sit with your child, watch the shows together, and then talk about it. Do the learn, and then that can become a springboard to more learning. So if you don't understand area model fractions and how to multiply and divide that way, it's okay. It's okay. We'll get that covered. But spend this time with your kid and make sure that you're making the most of every moment with them.
Well, good. Well, Ruthie, thank you. Thank you for being the leader and the motivator that you always have been and continue to be through this crisis. I know your teachers, your students, I know everybody watching this I feel a little better because I have no idea all of those subjects you just talked about. But I'm gonna not stress, and I'm gonna go to the website. I'm gonna talk to the teachers and let them handle it, right? They got it. They've got it.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Ruthie. And now we are gonna go back to Jill, who's gonna give us some updates on some of the phone lines and the calls that you've been making. Jill.
Thanks, Allison. Thank you, Ruthie. Well, I have to say the phones are ringing, and I have a new pile of shout-outs from all of you. Call us up at 493-498-5437 and share some shout-outs or call with a question. We're happy to take any of those calls from you tonight. A big shout-out to Erin Kirby. I think Erin is the first person to use the hashtag HCSReads2020 to share that she has been reading Chicka Chicka Boom Boom with her young son. That's A told B and B told C. I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. Great job, Erin Kirby, and thank you for using hashtag HCS Reads. I knew y'all would be impressed with that. I want to give a shout out to my husband, Jim, who texted to say that dinner will be waiting for me when I get home. Got to give him credit for that one. Speaking of good spouses, Tatiana from the STEM school called to say Dr. Donan is amazing and they love the TikToks. I don't know if you know, but Dr. Donan is creating these amazing TikTok videos every day, and it's really lifting the mood for a lot of people. So Tatiana, thanks so much for calling. Miss Sue from Soddy Daisy would like everyone to know that Miss Reynolds at Soddy Daisy Middle School is the best principal in the North River learning community. Thank you, Miss Sue. I know some others are going to call in to contest that one, but we all love Miss Reynolds, so thanks for sharing. The Orchard Knob Elementary School community, thank you. Here's a shout out to them for working hard and doing their very best at this challenging time, and that shout out came from Miss Cleveland. We have a shout out to Miss Sue Nealons from Clifton Hills Elementary. I have to say I've been in her classroom, phenomenal teacher. She has contacted all of her students and reached out to them, and this call came from a thankful parent who just appreciates that personal connection from for her child's teacher. A shout out to the second grade teacher, Miss Bannock at Battle Academy, from her student Molly A., who certainly misses her and hopes to see her again soon. We received a shout out from East Brainerd Elementary to Senora Johanna, the Spanish teacher. These students report that she is the best Spanish teacher. So great work, Senora. Mrs. Dennis at Wallace A. Smith. She's a teacher at Wallace A. Smith. She says, hello, Miss Dennis's kindergarten friends. I miss you all so much. I love seeing your work on Google Classroom. I can't wait to see you all. Gosh, so much love between teachers and students and families and schools. It's just so great to hear all of these and get to read all of these. Lisa Nail from Soddy Daisy Elementary is a teacher. She sent in this shout out. She says, I am a 5th grade literacy teacher at Soddy Elementary and would love to give a shout out to my 5th grade students for working so hard. I am so proud of them. Way to go, boys and girls in the 5th grade in Miss Nail's class at Soddy Daisy Elementary. Miss Ruthie Panny, a 5th grade student, called in to say that she loves all of the teachers and at DuPont Elementary. So way to go, DuPont Dolphins. Tyner Middle School students, and they are thankful for all of the faculty and staff. They say, hang in there, we got this. So keep up the good work, Tyner Middle School students and faculty and staff. A parent from East Ridge Elementary called to just thank all of the 1st grade teachers for all they are doing to support their students during this time. So thanks to East Ridge Elementary teachers and to those parents for calling in. Jalen from DuPont Elementary wants to give a shout out to Leanne Chesney, her 3rd grade teacher. So thank you, Jalen, for calling in with that. And Jack from East Ridge Elementary called to give a big shout out to Mr. Juan Marino. He is the one and only. Great job, Mr. Marino. Obviously, your students love you as well. Principal at Eastridge Elementary School. And there's a big shout out here to Candace Gregory. She is an Ottawa Elementary pre-K teacher, and she's been hosting regular Zoom meetings with 4- and 5-year-olds. I can imagine that those are quite entertaining. Thank you, Candace Gregory, for your great work, and for all those 4- and 5-year-olds for getting onto Zoom and talking to their classmates and their teachers. And Aaron Jurgen, he is the school resource officer at Orchard Knob Middle School. Officer Jurgen created videos for students and parents about knowing your rights during this coronavirus crisis time. So thanks to our SRO for just going the extra mile and doing something special to advocate for his students and parents. We appreciate that. Susie Hall, the Hunter Middle School librarian. There is a shout out for Susie Hall because she typically during the school year recognizes student birthdays every day during the school year. But now that we've been on this extended time at home, she has continued to celebrate birthdays on the school's Facebook page and really to make people feel special, make the kids feel special and celebrated while they are at home. Great job, Susie Hall, and thank you. I am now going to throw it back to Allison. She is with Dr. Marcia Drake for a new segment called Keeping It Real with Marcia.
We love this segment because as we are get moving has been the theme. We're going to get real because we are keeping it real with Dr. Drake. She's in the house. You're back.
Yeah.
Here we go. Hey. This is our distance greeting. We remember? Oh, yeah. Marcia, we got a lot to go over. And I know you brought some props. They know now. They know I love props, so I want to see something. But we're going to keep it real. Give it to me.
Okay, well, but before we get started, I want to shout out some people. I want to shout out the parents out there. Jill has been shouting out teachers, but I want to shout out the parents who have been rocking it out. We have a dad who's been teaching a cooking class with his girls, a parent that has taught their child to ride a bike, mom teaching her son to play the piano, and a teacher mom who has her kids outside doing some sidewalk chalk art. Outstanding. I'm shouting you out, parents, because we are rocking it out. Awesome job, parents.
Hey, I want to add something to that art. I saw a friend of mine who I thought this was brilliant. She got painter's tape. I am not like a Pinterest person, but got painter's tape, did a design on the sidewalk, then had the child color with the chalk inside the painter's tape. When they lifted it up, it was like a masterpiece. And her grandchild is 3. So if a 3-year-old can do this, I think, and she said, look, 30 minutes of great activity. So that gave me a great idea. People are getting so inventive, right? Like some of us, I will admit, I'm like, well, I showered today. I mean, it feels like I'm back to like being a new mom, right? Some of us have lower standards for like what is achievement, but I think all of us know that this is an opportunity to connect more, to try things we haven't been able to try, whether that be recipes or projects or innovations. People are actually taking advantage of this time.
Yes, they are. They're connecting with their kids. They have an opportunity to teach them things that they've always wanted to teach them. They have those schedules, but they're learning to incorporate some of those fun things into that schedule. And so, parents, you're rocking it out. You are kicking butt with that. And remember, this week is a 4-day week. 4 days, okay, and we have already got 1 day down, yay. So we only have 3 more days. So now let's get creative. I know a lot of people are like me and Allison, we don't have a lot of those creative juices flowing, but you know what? We can take from other people. So now there's some virtual field trips out there that they could be taking. At this time, there's also all of these cool shows on PBS that you could be watching with your kids and actually dialoguing afterwards. And then, now let's be intentional and start some new family traditions. And that's what I have here. I have some games that me and my boys enjoy playing. We got some Connect 4 going here. A little headbands here. Oh, and that game of life that we enjoyed so much, and we're missing some pieces, so I had to order a new one for us right here. And then this really cool card game and it's called Beat the Parents. Man, hours and hours of fun, but connecting with your kids, learning about some of their likes, their dislikes, just getting real close to them during this time, and just making sure that you're intentional. I know I have always said, because working, I don't get to spend a lot of time that I would really like to, or the amount of time that I would want to with my boys on a daily basis. But through this, we have an opportunity to spend a lot of time together. And so we're spending our time playing some games and having these movie nights where we're watching some really cool movies and popping popcorn really late at night, or sometimes real early in the morning. And they're having popcorn for breakfast on the weekends. But we're having
keeping
a
it
good
fun,
time.
keeping it real,
yes,
right?
Yeah, we're keep it, and I'm gonna give it to you real. So, you know, we are having fun. They're learning, but I'm also learning a little more about them and connecting with them as well. So.
Are you worried about the transition back to whatever that next new normal looks like, that your kids are going to be like, well, you know, last week you allowed me to eat chocolate for breakfast and stay up till 2 in the morning watching Netflix. What has changed, right? I told you I could still do my work. How do we start to navigate those waters? And those are things that we don't know if that's going to be in a month or 3 months, right? We don't know how long this crisis, right? And this sheltering in place. Look, I've been sheltering in place for at least 2 weeks with our 3 boys. One's home from college. All 3 can drive, and no one has driven their car in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So talk about a new normal, right? And we talked to the boys like, nobody wanted you home, right? Let's be clear. We enjoyed this family time, but nobody expected you home. So transitioning back to whatever that chaos looks like, I don't know if it's going to be quick or easy. Have you thought about that?
Well, I have thought a little about that, especially this morning when my 7th grader was doing his Zoom in bed, and that really wasn't what the plan was. But and
keeping it real.
Yeah, just keeping it
real.
real, and he was Zooming, so I could not, you know, at that particular time say that that's really not appropriate. So, you know, I think that after spring break, we will have to revisit the expectations during this time, and then we will have to really count down to our days that we return back to school or go into this next phase. And so I think that it's going to take us some time, but talking through it and being intentional about that and setting those expectations. So we're going to have to reset. And, you know, we do that often in our home. You know, we're not perfect. I wish we were, but, you know, no home is perfect, and we have to reset. So I find myself at the end of the day asking them what went well today. And then they can list what went well and what is it that we need to work on. And oftentimes they may have some problems actually pulling out what we need to work on. And you need to help them with that, and what that would actually look like, or what you would expect, okay? Because some of the things they will have to learn, relearn, and as Ms. Penny said, the teachers are going to work with them on that as well as they come back into the classroom, and to reintroduce the expectations of the classroom as well.
Yeah. Well, and I know part of this is about, you see everybody talking about it, posting about it, that it's during this time we could spend all day talking about the heartbreaking evidence of this crisis, and also the heartwarming, right? Neighborly love and support. And part of it is realizing how much of our community is bonding and banding together to give back. I know with our boys, we try to start like gratitude of the evening, right? Like, what's one little thing you did today for someone else, an act of kindness. How are you encouraging your boys, and how are you encouraging all of our families and students watching to make sure that they hang on to that piece of gratitude throughout this?
Yes, so there are some opportunities for them to give back. And so they can make some get well cards for our patients that are in the hospitals or in nursing homes. At this particular time, they cannot have visitors. But just think how lovely it would be to get a card, and it doesn't have to be anybody you know, just a get well soon thinking of you card. Also to send some of those thank you cards to our healthcare workers. They're working long hours that they're away from their families, so send some of those to the hospitals and the nursing homes as well. And then finally, send some thank you cards to those essential workers that are out there. That grocery store worker, that cashier at the grocery store, that bus driver that's delivering those meals to your home now, and the postal worker. Just send them some thank you cards. I'm sure that they appreciate it, and you will do your part to actually give back.
Yeah, and for everyone born after the year 2000, a thank you note is actually a handwritten missive. You put it in something called an envelope, and the stamp goes in the top right-hand corner. So my boys keep asking me, where does the stamp go? Top right-hand corner, don't mess that up. There is really nothing like getting a handwritten card, right? I mean,
yes.
because even in our regular normal, you rarely get mail that's handwritten from the people you love. I get texts every day and sometimes a phone call. I have more Zoom and FaceTime conversations with people in this new normal, though,
yes.
than I've ever had before, and seeing people is great. I know so many communities, I think places of worship and just youth groups, or even school groups or people in college, they're taking time to really like touch base with everybody and just see how they're doing.
Right.
And there's something to be said for someone checking in on you, just say, hey Marcia, everything okay? Just wanted to check.
Right, yeah, and actually calling your grandmother on the phone and having a conversation, because a lot of times that's a new normal for our young people, because they typically send texts. But your grandmother would love to hear from you, your aunts, your uncles, your grandfathers. They would love to have a phone conversation with you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Drake, for keeping it real always.
Yes.
We're going to heed that advice, and we're going to do more shout outs with Jill Levine right before we wrap up with Dr. Johnson.
All right, thanks, Allison. Thanks, Marcia, for keeping it real. Popcorn for breakfast. I like that idea. I have 10 more shout outs in 2 minutes, so I'm going to go really fast here. A special shout out to Jensen Robertson for watching the show tonight from your favorite uncle. Shout out to Chris Darris at DuPont Elementary School. He's the PE teacher, and he's been creating some exciting activities for getting students moving. Also, Wyatt, a student from Big Ridge Elementary, called to say that his librarian, Miss Galetta, is the best librarian. All right, Wyatt, to show your appreciation, make sure you go to the hashtag HCSReads2020. Send in a picture of what book you're reading. Everyone in Hamilton County, we should have 45,000 of those over the next week. Catherine Latham, we have a shout out to you. She is the Central High School chorus teacher. She has created special videos to help all middle and high school students warm up their voices at home so they can practice choir. Special shout out to Margie McGee. She's the middle school counselor at East Hamilton. She had her students send cards to local residents at an assisted living facility. Thank you, Miss McGee. An East Brainerd PTA parent called to say, we love Miss Jessica Pollard at East Brainerd Elementary. She's such an encouraging and engaging teacher. She gets on Zoom daily with our son and his class to let the kids share with one another, read books, review work, and just enjoy being together. Mallory Neal, a Wolf Teever Creek Elementary student, wants to thank her second grade teacher, Miss Ward, for being available on Class Tag, for answering questions, sending sweet videos, and typed messages to her students. She also wants to thank the principal, Mrs. Huffstetler, for sending morning announcements each day. Beth LaRosa from Wallace A. Smith, she's a teacher, and she wants to send a shout out to her kindergarten class. She says, I love you all and miss you so much. You guys are doing such a great job at home with virtual learning. I can't wait to see you soon. 2 more, Zakiah Stevens, a shout out to all his teachers. He's so thankful for his DuPont Elementary family. And Misty Cartwright, she wants to give a shout out to Miss Newell at Snow Hill and the whole staff at Snow Hill. Thanks so much for all the great shout outs and questions tonight. I'm going to now throw it back to Allison and to Dr. Johnson to close us out.
Thank you so much, Jill, and thank you to our leadership team for once again being on the phones tonight, taking your calls, hearing your shout outs. Dr. Johnson, final words for our audience and everybody watching tonight.
If you need something, just remember we have a hotline available and ready, whether it be technical, whether it be where a pickup site is for food, we've got it. Please reach out to us. And the other thing I would say is just stay safe. Stay safe, really continue the learning, enjoy your families. We know this is a challenging time. Grace, as we talked about, and being active and enjoying this opportunity, even though it's very difficult, is what we ask you to do. We respect and honor and think so much of all of our medical workers right now, doctors and nurses, all those on the front lines, and appreciate all the work that they're doing for our community.
Well, great. And once again, at WTCI, we want to thank Hamilton County Schools and you, Dr. Johnson, for just being so open and honest with all of the challenges. This has been a great privilege and a partnership, and shout out to Candy Johnson. I know you don't want Coach
And
Wood.
I want to bounce it over to Justin Robertson's wife, too. Shout out to Mrs. Robertson. Coach Wood came in tonight, and he gave his wife like 5 shout outs, and as he was leaving out, I told him, we're in all kinds of trouble.
We'll see you soon.